khẩn trương cắt cử người canh gác, dọn dẹp vệ sinh, lực lượng còn lại cơ động về khu vực nhà ở để chuẩn bị đi dinh độc lập. Mình nhắc lại, lực lượng canh gác, các đồng chí cắt cử canh gác và cho tổng dọn vệ sinh, lực lượng còn lại các đồng chí cơ động về.
Hey there, how's it going? I'm Matt. Welcome to Matt's Vietnam Life, live from Saigon, and we've got a really cool location today, as you can see. How you going, Vu Oi? Good to see you. I hope your trip was good back home. Unfortunately, the view behind me isn't very good, and hopefully you can hear me. It's a little bit windy here. We're on the rooftop of the Majestic Hotel, which is actually a really good place to view all this. So I'll probably spend a lot of the time changing the view for you guys. So we're sitting here right in Saigon. Yeah, that's right, Vuoi. It wasn't long ago that you were here. Yeah, this location's situated right on the river, as you can see, right on the Saigon River. And this hotel's been here for 100 years. This year it's celebrating its 100th year. And it's just a sensational view. And the weather, as you can see today, is beautiful. Sorry about the audio if the wind's blowing it up. We've actually got a lot of wind here today. Saigon isn't really known as a windy city, but the views are just too good today. And I'm hoping you like the landscape view as well. G'day Peter, thanks for joining. So what we've got down here in front of us is the cannons. So these cannons have been here for the past couple of weeks or so. Hopefully you can see that. There's a massive shadow, the shadow of our building. The shadow of our building is blocking it there, but they're the 15 guns. So they've had those set up down there for the past probably 2 weeks or so, and I think I featured it in one of my videos recently, and they're there for the 21 gun salute on April 30, the morning of April 30. Apparently I think there's 15 of them all up and 3 spares just in case something goes wrong. But the build-up in Saigon for the anniversary is huge, and we were in town last night and it took us nearly an hour and a half to get a taxi just to get one. So as you can see, there's people everywhere. Weather looks incredible. Yeah, it is. Today was 36 degrees and super hot, but this location here is getting all the wind, and we've got the shade, so good on Mel for finding another place for us. Vu, oh Matt, I found a nice bun flan place in D1. Okay, nice. District 4 is a bit of a hotspot for flan, sorry about that. Bun flan. So what do you reckon about that, hey? Pretty cool, isn't it? Amazing view. And this is the bar here. I think it's called M Bar at the Majestic Hotel. And it's got one of the best views in Saigon of the Saigon River. Just coming into view there, just there, is the Dragon Wharf. Originally it was called Dragon Wharf. I think it's called Wrong. So Dragon, sort of like Dragon House. It was a very important port back in the day during the French period, and that's where Ho Chi Minh actually departed for his trip around the world as a young man. Not sure if you can see just over it. You can see the large water tower just behind that building there, the old Dragon Wharf building. And I think I mentioned that in a video just the other week. The Americans built these big water towers in Saigon, obviously to upgrade the water supply, the fresh water supply, and also give the city some water pressure. Peter, I'll be in Da Nang June, July, August. Sorry, I keep losing my chat. I'll be in Da Nang June, July. Can't wait. Yeah, awesome. Nice stuff. Should be pretty good then. The weather now, actually, Vu, who's in the chat, he's just come back from Da Nang, and he'll tell you, Peter, that it's pretty hot up there at the moment. May is super hot. They have the 70.3 Ironman on in May, and I've been up there a couple of times, and while that's on, and it's super, super hot. Going around a little bit more there. Let me just change the camera for you. Let me just give you a bit more info on the location. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Sorry, it's a little bit dark in spots. But yeah, that's the bar there to the right. Where is my camera? I need a little here we go. I've got my little swizzle stick as my pointer today. Here's the Dragon Wharf building just here, and just behind that is the water tower that I was talking about. And along here, this is District 4 here. So that used to be the Saigon port up until very recently, probably a few years. And sorry, I'm not very good at the pointing. I need to bring that further along. Right along there was the Saigon port. Along there, you can still see the old buildings there, and I think there's a couple, all those sort of old rusty roofs. I'm not sure if you can see those. Here we go. That might be a bit better. I'm not sure if the clarity is very good, but you might be able to see these little sort of warehouses along here. And there's still, somewhere in there, there's still a really old French port office that's there as well. But also a lot of cruise ships pull up just here. This one here, this sort of wooden thing here, this is a like a dinner. That's where all those sort of dinner boats park. That's, I think, during the evening they generally come over this way and people get on board in front of the hotel here. But that's where they dock during the day. And in that direction there, so you can see this cargo, whatever you call it, container. What do you call them? Container boat, whatever they are, barge. It's coming in from the river that goes out into the East Sea. But allegedly all that old port area, it's slated to be high-rise accommodation and whatever else in the future. I don't know when that's going to take place. I'm not too sure how I feel about it, but you know, that's progress, I guess, and development. Sorry about that. I'm just playing around with my zoom here. And this area here, oh, hang on. So just at the front of the old wharf port here, there's a little canal there, and that separates District 4 and District 1. And if you take that, well, you used to be able to take that canal down into District 5, into Chinatown. And then pretty much directly under the river, right, where is it? Probably about here, there's a little tunnel, Cross River Tunnel. You can drive across here and across into Tu Tiem, this area, directly across the river. And just on the other side of the river there, right in the foreground there, that's one of Ho Chi Minh City's oldest churches. What was it, Mel? Lovers of the Holy Cross. But just check out the people down here. They're waiting sometime tonight or this evening. There'll probably be something, maybe there'll be a practice on tonight, hopefully. Although there's no soldiers there at the moment. Maybe they're done for the day, but check out the people. There's a real throng, a real buzz going on around the city.
Airplane.
No, they're kites. So I'm trying out this landscape mode on my phone. Seems to be going okay. Boo, anything happening tonight? I don't think so. Last night we got caught up in all the waterworks. Fireworks. I don't know why I said waterworks. I think because of Songkran. We got caught up in all the fireworks. There were lots of fireworks. G'day, Rabbit Dog. How you going? Good to see you here. Apologies for the camera work. I'm just trying to get the best sort of view here. Behind me is obviously not a very good view. It was Vu. It was chaos last night. They had fireworks, massive fireworks. I'm just going to try and get into a better Hang on, Mel. Sorry guys, hang on a sec. You're better over there, I think. Oh, just here, yeah. I'm just getting organised. I'm just getting my desk organised.
And your chips. Oh my god, that's good.
Actually, Boo, I haven't even checked the schedule, to be honest. Is there a drone show tonight? Actually, if we'd been here last night, we would have been in prime position for the fireworks. But we had an event that we had to go to, so we missed out on that. Rabbit, yeah, you've been to a few. Yeah, me too. I'm not that huge on them, to be honest. They're great to see, but it's the aftermath, isn't it, that is a real pain. It's just the traffic's just ridiculous. And we had 4 taxis cancel on us. Took an hour and a half to get one, and then I don't know how long to get out of town, but it took a long time. And there's just no detour around. So that's why we're going to stay in town on the big days, on the 29th and the 30th. We're going to stay in town so we don't have to dick around with taxis and all that sort of stuff. So, oh yeah, thanks Rabbit. Yeah, send me a good guide. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks. Peter, how's the metro working out? It's excellent. The metro's awesome. The only thing is it doesn't go out to my district. So if I want to use it, I still have to either ride my motorbike in or get a taxi or whatever to get in. But for people who live in District 2, so in, I don't know if you're familiar with the city, so that in that direction there is District 2. There's Mal in District 2. So the metro goes from Bentan Market out past Landmark 81 there, the tallest building in the middle there of the screen, and then out. I think there's a university out there somewhere. There's a water park, Suikian Water Park or something like that out there.
UTEC?
Yeah.
UTEC University.
Paddy, hi Paddy. The fireworks. Well, this is interesting. I think it's just part of the build-up. Look at this. I'm getting blown to bits up here. Saigon doesn't have wind usually, but today it does. I think it's part of the build-up, part of the festivities, and also a bit of a dry run, so to speak, to see how the fireworks would go, I guess. I didn't know that they actually practiced them, but yeah, pretty big. And I believe they're going to go off a lot of the bridges and out right around town as well. Last night they were just centered around this part of the city. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through here. Celeste, hi Celeste. Does the metro go from the airport to District 1? No, it doesn't. And there won't be. There's going to be a new airport, a new international airport. I don't know, by the end of next year, I believe. And I saw I saw a news story just the other day. They were laying the, pretty much they're ready to lay the tarmac on the new runways. But there is no metro or train line out there to that. And I've got a feeling that I'll probably be either very, very old by the time that happens or not around at all, going by how long the first metro took. So it's a bit of a shame, but I'm assuming they're going to have a fairly high-speed highway to get people into town. Vu, yeah, the new domestic terminal's open. Yeah, it just opened on the 17th of this month. Yeah, but I'm talking about the new international airport. Paddy, so they say the metro took 10 years. Yeah, it did. It took a good 10 years. I think I can remember it was about 2011 when they first started putting up all the hoardings and all, you know, all the construction fences and all that, safety fences and stuff like that. I think it was about 2011. And when did it open? Was it this year or last year? Just this year. Yeah, so whatever that is. Longer than 10 years, longer than a decade. We've got some good chips here today too.
Hot chips.
Not bad.
Free peanuts.
So excuse me, sorry, I'm just gonna eat as well. And peanuts. Celeste, so the best way to District 1 will be to grab or taxi. Yeah, get a grab. Just download the Grab app if you don't have it already. And you don't have to do anything. Like once you land in a new country, it kind of flicks over into the zone, into the time zone and whatever else. So, and also I think the currency that you'll be using as well. So possibly the tricky little thing is actually finding, you know, for first timers, finding where the Grab taxi rank is, because from memory, there's not actually the green Grab sign with a big arrow. It's written, the sign is sort of translated from it, you know, like into a clumsy English phrase like digital, I can't remember, electronic digital mobile hailing apps or something like that. If that, I know that doesn't really make sense, but what you do is you come out the front gates, veer left, go left out the gates, I don't know, go down about 50 meters or 100 meters or something like that. Go across the street and there's a car park and there's a schmozzle of people wandering around, and there'll be people with suitcases and bags and stuff like that, scratching their heads and looking at their phones. And then, because the Grab drivers, I believe, are not allowed in until they get their fare. So, yeah, it's all a bit slipshod. That's my favourite word this week. I was using that for some reason a lot in my latest video. I think it's a good word to describe a lot of things here. No worries, Celeste. I wonder where Daz... I think we may have lost Daz for a while. He's getting himself ensconced in Vietnamese culture and life in Vung Tau. Hopefully he watches this at a later date. He messaged me last week actually, and he said he was going to watch It was a couple of days after the live stream, so. Mel, Matt doesn't like chicken salt. Yeah, I hope her nephew doesn't find out. He gave me a big tub of it. A big, I don't know, what do you call it? A big jar of it for Christmas, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that I don't like chicken salt. Salt and vinegar. Salt and vinegar. Now that's what I like. That can be next time, boo. Next time you come, bring me some Samboys. Awesome to be in. No worries, Celeste. Yep. Paddy, Vietnam bureaucracy. Yeah. I think it's also in terms if you're talking about the taxis. There's other things I can say about the taxis. I'll mention that another time. But obviously it's sort of designed so that you're more likely to take the other taxis that are hanging around. I hope you can hear me. The wind's just blown up again. Yeah, Celeste, bit crazy. TJ, re-grab. It helps if you download Grab and activate it if you're coming from Australia to Vietnam. Yep, 100%. Yep. And the other one is San SM. That's another one as well. It's not a bad little backup. It's a handy backup. They're all battery car, e-cars, electric cars. And I've been enjoying the motorbikes actually quite a bit lately, as you may have seen on my edited videos. Yeah, shapes are good, boo. Rabbit, I still haven't used the Sun SM yet. I downloaded it 6 months ago. Yeah, it's good. It's worth giving a go. I use so with Grab, I can use cash or credit card, but with the Sun SM, I haven't put my credit card in there because I just wanted to use it for short cash trips and stuff like that. And what I've found is, in off-peak times, they're super reliable. You can get a motorbike quicker than Grab. Same with a car, they're super quick. But unfortunately last night, the city streets were just inundated with people and motorbikes and cars, and they cancelled on me about 4 times. So they let me down a bit. So high volume, high peak times, not very reliable, whereas Mel ordered one on Grab, and I think because she was using her credit card with it, it kind of guaranteed that we were going to hang around and we weren't going to cancel, so it was much easier in the end to get a Grab. But definitely in low peak times, if you're doing short trips and you want to just jump on the back of a motorbike, the little san, sorry, I keep getting a pronunciation. Anyway, san means green or blue. They're good for little trips around town. I'm really enjoying them. Unfortunately, the helmets are too small. Yeah, well, Rabbit, yeah, it's a healthier way to go, for sure. But you live in town, so sometimes, you know, it's not far to walk for you. Oh, yeah. All right. Let me just show you around a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that. There's a big bit of shade over there. That's the stage, obviously. I think they're going to do some fireworks off there as well. But look at the crowd building. The crowds are building even more. Look at this. Let me see if I can get you some more views. There you go. So all the traffic coming in from out of town, possibly District 4, coming down here, Tonduk Tang Street. Looking over into District 4, down the Saigon River. That direction there takes you out to Vung Tau. So these boats here, these ones here, this is where you catch the boat to go to Vung Tau, which is about a 2-hour boat trip away, and they head off in this direction here. They're probably finished for the day, I'd say. I think their last one's about 5 o'clock or 4:30. There was one that left just before I went live. And I think they're just hanging around. The people are hanging around hoping for something to happen. Oh no, here we go. There's some soldiers turning up. So looks like we might get a little bit of cannon fire tonight. Here we go. There they are. Hello. Beautiful, isn't it? I think that's the water taxi. That's the water taxi there. So last week when we did the live stream, it was up here a bit. It was, sorry about the camera work, guys. It's just hard to juggle. Just there where that yacht is. Basically, that's where we did the live stream last week. But looks like everyone's taking advantage of the water taxi. I don't think I've seen them so packed. Look at that. And actually, I didn't know they actually went in that direction. Usually they go left of screen. Thanks, Vu. I'm trying to improve my Vietnamese all the time. It's a work in progress, as I say to people all the time. And I get very tongue-tied when I speak Vietnamese because you're just using totally different muscles and sinews in your jaw and tongue and all that sort of stuff. I use muscles in my mouth. This sounds terrible, that I never thought I had. But that's it, it's really difficult, but I'm trying. Oh, there we go. There's another, the yellow water taxi going off in the direction of District 2. And this is one of the Vung Tau boats, but I think they're just moving it. I don't think it has passengers because it's too late in the day and it's coming from the wrong direction. G'day, Derek. Oh, you're in Mildura. Okay, not too far from where I grew up. I grew up in Yamerka. I was born and grew up and worked for a short time as an adult in Yamerka, near Shepparton. Again, apologies for my camera work. I'm not very dexterous when it comes to zooming in and out on my phone. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, I think, I had a bit of a think about my videos and I thought, I think trying to have natural interactions that are not forced with the locals, I thought it would make a difference. And it appears that it seems to be enjoyable for you guys. I've been getting some really cool feedback about it, so I'm going to continue to do it, and the format is much easier for me for editing and all that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying the process more, and I think that's what's going to help with, keeping things efficient and keeping things sustainable and just more enjoyable overall. Let me just zoom out a little bit, see if I can. How much does it cost to catch one of those ferries to Vung Tau, do you mean, or do you mean the water taxi? Obviously the water taxi will, the prices vary because there's multiple stops and all that sort of stuff. What I found with the water taxi last year when I took it was that you needed to book in advance, especially, with events like this, because all the tickets sell out. You book them, so you can book them online or you can book them at the office, which is just over there. I think you can see one of the boats just there. But this is what I also love about this river. So we've got the ferries and all that, and then you have a barge coming along. The water taxi Vu. Yeah, water taxi prices vary. Obviously depending on how far you go, I think from memory. But it is cheap. It's really cheap. Oops, we've got some people in the background there. I'll try and, sorry about the background for now. I just don't want to put them on there. Celeste, I got my car in Shepparton. Okay, alright, cool. Small world, isn't it? Derek, I took the public water bus on my second day ever in Vietnam. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's worth taking to check it out. Yeah, it's really, really good. And you can take it over to District 2 now, so directly in front of me. So you go under the new Barson Bridge and around the river a little bit, and you stop on the other side of the river, stop near District 2, and now they're building a better walkway into sort of Tao. When I say District 2, I mean Tao Dien, Swang Tui Street, where all the bars and restaurants are. So it's really convenient. Apologies again for my camera work. Yep, from Derek, from D1 to 2 Team. Yeah, well, 2 Team is all of this area across here. So when I first came to live here, there was nothing there except for that building. I think that building was there. Of course, the church was here. This church here. Lovers of the, what is it, Mel? Holy Cross. So let me zoom in a little bit. So I think when I first came to live here, that building right there was here. That was it. And of course the church. The church is one of the oldest. It's something like the second oldest, I think, after Notre Dame. Has a very interesting history. And of course, it's a Catholic church. And the sisters, the nuns, back in the day, a long time ago, apparently they came down from the north and they set up shop there. And if you can use your imagination, you would imagine that there was a church just stuck in the middle of a swamp. And actually when I came here back in 2010, and even up till a few years ago, you could see buffalo in there. So, you know, they're planning on it being a very high-end residential area. But to the church's credit, they've stood their ground and they've won, I think years back, they won an injunction or something like that to be able to stay there. And years ago again, I keep saying years ago, when I was working for the magazine that I used to write for, I did a little story on this church because it was very interesting. There, to the side, to the right of the main building there, the main church, there was a dairy. And so the nuns had about 10 cows and they milked them every day and obviously used the milk for their own purposes, but I think they also sold the milk as well and also made yogurt. So look at the crowd. It's going to be hard work getting back tonight. Hey bees, good to see ya. Okay, the wind's died off a little bit, which is good. Sorry guys, again. There we go, that's a bit better I think. me just go through the chat. Hang on. Derek, hopefully we can meet up in Saigon. I'm staying in District 7. Yeah, sure. Just give me plenty of notice. Yeah, bees, it's a pretty big crowd. And I'm not actually sure what's happening tonight. I didn't look at the schedule. Maybe Mel can look it up for me. Here's this little party boat thing. This here. This thing here you can hire out, and they've got a little, if it's the boat that I'm thinking, they've got a little beer tap on it. So you can sit there in the boat drinking draft beer and eating snacks and whatever else and cruise up and down the river. Alright, let me have a look. I'll just have a look at some of the chat. Derek, how do I give notice? Not sure how to DM you through YouTube. What's the best way? Just when are you planning on coming anyway? Let me know. Perhaps I can put my email address up in the description of the channel. I think I took it down the other day. I'm not too sure. Maybe if you have a look at what do you call it? The profile of my channel, you might be able to access the email address there. Yeah, or yeah, okay. No, I think I'll just put it up. I'll put it in the, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. The channel details and how to get in touch. Bees, I actually hired that boat for Melanie's birthday years ago, and it was excellent. Pretty pricey, but it was a lot of fun. And you actually also go through some of the canals around here as well, so you're not just on the big river. Vu, I think you're a little bit older than 22. Nice try. Derek. Okay, no worries. I'll put my contact details in the, or my email address at least, in my channel details, maybe tomorrow. Crowd's definitely building down there. So sun just about heading down today to wrap up another weekend. Got a little bit to go. And there you go, it's already bumper to bumper. Hey Kevin, how you going? Good to see you. What time is it over there? Public transport options in town. Yeah, Grab is one, and San SM is another one. There's also the sort of the public taxis. There's a public bus system as well, which actually isn't too bad. Very cheap as well. So there's plenty of options to get around. There's also the traditional Saigon drivers. There's a few around. Sai is like vehicle and Om is hug. So it's sort of literally vehicle hug, and the concept is that you hug somebody as you're going around on the motorbike. So Saigon. There's not that many of them left these days with all the ride-hailing apps. But yeah, there's plenty of ways to get around town. There's also the metro, of course. 6:22 a.m. Okay. Sorry, bear with me here. I'm juggling things here. The sun's looking really good, reflecting off the Dragon Wharf over there on the right. Rabbit, yeah. The street is one of the trickiest to cross in District 1. I've got a brother who's a... Sorry. The zoom is... You don't really want to be seeing this, do you? I don't know how to fix it. Let me just change it. I've got a brother who's a quadriplegic, and he came to visit me before COVID, and I took him across this street. We went for a walk one day, and I took him on the water taxi. Yeah, we crossed this street. I pushed him across at the roundabout up there where the the Chan Hong Dao statue is, and that was pretty hairy, pushing him across in the chair. And of course he was at quite a low level on the ground as well, so pretty frightening for him, but we survived it. Mel's having a beer as well. Yeah, a Tiger. Derek. Yeah, it's a crazy street. I'm not a huge fan of crossing it. Oh, here we go. Here comes our boat. We might have to have a Matt's Vietnam Life party on this. What do you think? Okay, let me take you for a little bit of a walk around. Bear with me, just in case the internet drops out, but I should be okay. Oh. Okay, it's going to be a bit windier. I nearly took out the cashier.